Every computer should want to go back to Restream. Okay. I believe we are live. I think. This would be a good time to see. When you have multiple computers in front of you, do you make the same mistake I do, that I think one mouse controls all of it? Because I do. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong place. Are we good? Can I share it? Can I share it? Can I share it? Can I share it? Share. Create post. How do you share a YouTube? At another side of information. I think I sent it. I think I am. I know. I think I sent it to our YouTube. I think. I can't be sure of that, but I think I did. All right, come on. Oh. Oh, get out. I did? Oh, awesome. Okay. Woo woo. That's good. Oh, get out. I did? Oh, awesome. Okay. Let's see how much. I'm working on that right now. Right. No, we're on the Ghost Claw Productions Facebook page. We are. We just saw it. So now I'm trying to do the rest of Facebook. Post. Yes, folks, that's the sniffles. Woohoo. That'll be fun in a few days. Everyone. Raise the video. Let's do at. Oh, I know why it won't let me do that. Okay, I understand. That really shouldn't have anything to do with it. Yeah, I guess I understand it. It doesn't. I kind of don't understand it, and I do all at the same time. 101. We might. I'm trying to fly through this sharing here. Revolution. Page. Ghost Claw's already there. TCP. And group. And here we go. I don't know where to type a chat. I don't know where to type into the chat. Do you? On the desktop? The chat on the Streamlabs desktop. Do you know where I type to go into the chat? Because I don't see it. And I am afraid that I'm going to screw something up. And if I try to type into it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is there a place to chat, type in a chat? Hang in there, folks. I know it's 8:01. We're almost there. We're doing some new stuff tonight, so it's a little dodgy. Don't you snap back on me. He said to his own phone, because that's always healthy. No, not the source. Oh, no, wait. I think there's a pen up there. I think there's a pen up there. Pennsylvania. Radio. Hang in there, gang. Hang in there. New stuff, so just fighting it a little bit, getting our sea legs here. Hang in there. Nice. Excellent. It's never a bad time for that one. Like, literally, that one works almost anywhere. What's he call him? Chiefy? Is that it? Isn't that what he calls him? Calls him Chiefy, isn't it? Okay, hang on, gang. I swear. I think we're almost there. Wait, you know, I cut down these groups. But wow. I still got a lot. Okay, let's see how it works, George. Here we go. Oh, I might want to turn the radio stations on. That might be a good idea, huh? Might be a good idea. And play. And play. And play. Welcome, welcome, welcome from my humble second bedroom here in the Saucon Valley, part of the Lehigh Valley, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Part of these United States, at least for now. Western Hemisphere, North American continent. Maybe I could fix my own headset. That would be pretty good if I actually put it on the right way. On this planet Earth, the only one we have, third rock from the sun in the Terran solar system, part of the Milky Way galaxy. This is TKE Tonight, the Kennedy Effect Tonight, for the 13th of February 2025. Here's what's awesome. I typed 13th of February about 35 times before we went live and still managed to forget the date, time, and what day it is and what year it is. And so maybe the show looks a little different to you tonight. It should, because things are actually working kind of the way they're supposed to work. Yikes! What's wrong with this picture? I mean, honestly, something's a little effed when it looks the way it's supposed to. Gonna just be honest. We are coming to you via a streaming program called Stream Labs, which Vampirus is in the house. Welcome, young lady. Appreciate it. And you may know that we've always been using that, but we've been using a different version of it. Now we're using the version that we're supposed to be using. So what does that mean to you? Well, if you're Randall and our, what is usually our normal Facebook crowd, which seems to be exceptionally light tonight, not that I know why, because I've sent the program everywhere that I normally send it, but there are very, very few faces on Facebook tonight. Nothing really changes for you. If you're used to watching us on YouTube, nothing really changes for you either, except that we are now on 2 YouTube channels. Our own, That Other Side of Information, and we are now on the GCPR, or I should say Ghost Claw Productions Radio YouTube as well, which happens to have, I don't know, according to my computer, it's 12,200-ish. I think it's more than that, though. I thought it was more than that. But regardless, I don't think I'm on my Twitch anymore. Not that anybody was watching me over there. They really weren't. The bad part is I'm not on LinkedIn. And we actually had a very good crowd on LinkedIn. So I will have to share the video of the program over to LinkedIn after it's over. But for those of you, especially on the GCPR YouTube, who may not have ever seen me before, hi, I'm Jeff Kennedy, the host of the program, co-owner of the station. This is me. When Thomas is screaming my name into his microphone over the sound effects early in the morning and says, whoa, so-and-so's in it, I'm the guy that's in the house occasionally. So that's me. Nice to meet you all. Glad you could be here. And I hope that you will be regulars. And I would love to say that I hope you'll be regulars, because I hope this damn program keeps working. Because it's bloody awful, to be honest. And but I hope it keeps working. So this is TKE Tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome for the 13th of February, 2025. We're live right now on the Facebook pages of Ghost Claw Productions, the TCP Media Group, our Revolution, Pennsylvania, hot101.net, and our home group Facebook page for all things that surround our program that we invite you all to become members of. Our home group Facebook page is called That Other Side of Information. It's about the articles that we post there, are usually what we talk about here on the program, but it's not all just politics. We also post, because George is an administrator there as well, we also post articles about astronomy and the environment and animal advocacy, and sometimes just goofy pictures to try to lighten things up. But if you want to know what we're talking about here on this program, join our Facebook group, That Other Side of Information. That Other Side of Information is also the name of our YouTube channel, where we are live right now, and we are also live for the first time in the, how old's the station, George? 8.5 months? 7.5 months? For the first time, we're live on GCPR, the Ghost Claw Productions YouTube channel. The audio of the program, of course, blasts around the globe via 2 global internet stations. One of the oldest, the other, one of the newest. Hot101.net, our name is our web address. Type it in, you will find us. You can listen for free. Listen on any type of device that can connect to the internet. Hot101.net, hot, H-O-T, 101.net. You can listen for free. You can also use our apps. They are free. Apple App Store for Apple devices, Google Play Store for Android devices, and the TuneIn Radio app. GCPR.live, you know that. Ghost Claw Productions Radio.live. You can listen on our website for free. You can also use our Android app. We invite you to go to our website, check us out, learn about all the different hosts, the different shows, and so on and so on. GCPR.live. It's in the chat if you don't already know how to find us. 8:12 Eastern Time. Let's get into the program, shall we? So I typed the header for the program about 57 times into the Streamlabs. And then every time you take a deep breath, that seems to disappear. So I typed it over and over and over and over again. And I really got sick of typing it over. So I just typed in that we were using new software. There's really three things that I wanted to try to get to tonight. One thing I will tell... Oh, and I should tell you who's on the screen with me. That's George. George is the co-host of The Help Desk and Model Citizen on Saturdays. And... did I get all of it? Well, in this show, you are the executive producer extraordinaire. He's the guy that keeps me from throwing really expensive, really expensive computer equipment around the room when it doesn't work. No, I won't throw it because I didn't buy it. No, well, no, I didn't buy it. See, right. No, she paid for it. She paid for it, so I'm not throwing it anywhere. No, I'm not that stupid. I mean, I'm pretty stupid, but I'm not that stupid. Let me, oh, Michael on the YouTube is saying that George doesn't have audio. Well, I can certainly hear you. You're in the Zoom that we're streaming through Streamlabs, so everybody should be... No audio from George. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Huh. Well, that makes no sense, does it? Well, that's why we're using Zoom. You're in the Zoom, and the Zoom is going to... Wasn't that interesting? Well, I hate this program. I gotta be honest with you. We gotta do something about this program. For those of you who watch and listen, the method by which we stream to you really doesn't mean anything to you. You just want to be able to see it and hear it. Well, I hate this program. We have a staff meeting on Saturday. This will be a topic. I can guarantee you. I'm probably scaring everybody off from coming to the meeting now. To be quite honest with you, Michael Vampirus, I have no clue, and I mean this with all sincerity, no idea in the world why you can't hear George, because I can, and I believe the people on Facebook can hear him, which is even weirder. So I don't know. I don't think I have... Randall would have to tell me if he can hear you on Facebook. I honestly don't know. But I also happen to know, I recognize your names from Sound of Coffee. You know that Thomas fights with sound every single morning? I guess we're no different. Here we are, we're fighting with sound. Let's get into... And what is the message that you sent me about Superplex Party? Is not on tonight? No Superplex Party tonight? Okay. So we actually can run a little late if we have to. No one will be on. Hot101.net. Following us at 9, the music returns on GCPR. Conversations with T. Nathan from 11. Normally, Superplex Party would follow us right at 9 o'clock. They are not on tonight, so if we should happen to have a robust discussion and bleed a little over into past 9 o'clock, we can do that. Conversations with T. Nathan from 11. Thomas returns tomorrow morning with Flag on the Play Friday to wrap up your broadcast work week from 8 a.m. M. Vampirus, do I need to go to that other side to see if it works? You could try. I shared it from Ghost Claw to that other side. It might work. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I'm just being honest with you. I honestly don't know. It's very kind of you to try to go over there and do some like monitoring and help for us. That'd be awesome. I'm very grateful for you doing that. It's a pain in the butt, but I honestly don't know. I'm watching the YouTube feed on another device, but obviously I can't turn the sound on because it'll reverberate. But let's get into the program. We're nearly 20 minutes in, and I haven't done any politics yet. There were 3 things that I wanted to try to get to tonight. One was a breaking story that was just being reported as I was trying to have some dinner, and before I came upstairs to talk to you, to come into the studio. And that is that a very high-profile attorney in the Southern District of New York, a Republican, a woman who was a clerk for no less than Antonin Scalia, resigned today, along with, I believe, 6 other lawyers in the Southern District of New York. These are U.S. attorneys now. These are federal attorneys. Because she refused to drop the corruption bribery case against Mayor Eric Adams. And in her letter of resignation, she very clearly points out that she's leaving because Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, approached the Trump administration seeking the new Trump administration to drop the federal corruption charges against him. And what he offered the Trump administration in return is that he will allow immigration, ICE, to have free reign throughout New York City, that they will not stop them at all. In fact, they will cooperate with them completely, even when ICE actions, which they do on a pretty regular basis, break the law. And she lays this out in her resignation letter. That's pretty bloody shocking when you think about it. It's real shocking. And it's even more demonstrations of the sheer naked corruption of this new administration. Now, on Tuesday, we talked about the CBS poll that had come out the day before. Sorry, that came out on Monday. On Tuesday, we talked about a poll that came out on Monday that showed that 53% of Americans were in favor of the job that Trump was doing just 3 weeks in. The first time he had cracked 50% in anything other than Republican primary polling. It was the first national poll he had ever cracked 50%. He's never cracked 50% in an election and never cracked 50% in any type of popularity or job performance poll prior to Monday. And so we asked you the question, indirectly, is it time to stop talking about, is this who we are? Because obviously it is. But I wonder sometimes, will we hit a breaking point where that 53% begins to, in all fairness, wake up? Will they wake up? Is a lifelong Republican, and I really should look up her name. Her last name is Sassoon, believe it or not, like the old 70s um, uh, fashion and shampoo people. I'm blanking on her first name. Her last name is Sassoon. Still relatively young, appointed to the Southern District, I believe, by Trump in his first term, and stayed. She was a clerk for Antonin Scalia as well, as I said. Very conservative. She put, she was a lead prosecutor that put Sam Bankman-Fried in jail for his wild, financial scam that he was running. A woman who paid attention to the law and who followed the law and who wrote a rather lengthy, dare I say, dissertation talking about how just blatantly corrupt this was and that she couldn't take part in it. She refused. Danielle is her first name. Thank you, George. Danielle Sassoon. And I do believe it's pronounced Sassoon. I hope I have the pronunciation right. Certainly don't mean to slag anybody if I'm saying it wrong. That's never my intention. But refused to drop the case because she believes Eric Adams is guilty. But because he was willing to give this new administration free rein through Manhattan and the other 4 boroughs, immigration services, immigration troops, really. If you've seen them dressed up on any of these raids, troops. If you've seen them, you'll know that's what they look like, paramilitary. And he's going to give them free rein around New York to save his own ass. And she knows it. And rather than be a part of it, she walked away. So I have to wonder, maybe this is some kind of turning point. I don't know. Maybe not. It's not the kind of resignation that would gather a lot of press coverage. I should think if you weren't watching... I never watch CNN. I don't like it. I don't think it presents well. I don't think it looks good on television. I just don't think it's good television. It has nothing to do with their reporters or their point of view or their where they fall on the political spectrum. It has nothing to do with any of that. I just don't like it. I don't like the way the sets are lit. I don't like the sets themselves. I just kind of don't like CNN. You might love it. You might depend on it. And that's awesome. That's fine. This isn't an argument about that, really. But my point is, unless you are watching CNN or MSNBC, this isn't something that you would normally hear about. Fox sure as hell didn't cover it. I can just about guarantee you that. I don't watch Fox either. Very, very rarely. But, maybe, I don't know, maybe this is one of those things that might wake a few people up. It's not a terribly high profile resignation that I think is going to resonate with a lot of folks, but maybe, just maybe. Michael mentions in the chat, on the YouTube chat, whoa, Jeff's got YouTube chat, holy crap. George, that's funny. You should try to say some of these things. People are trying to figure out whether they can hear you or not. George just put a joke in the chat that CNN was about ready to give me a show and they just took it away because I just shit all over CNN. Trust me, I don't think they were giving me a show. Anyway, Mike Pruitt mentions in the... should say Michael. He put Michael on the screen. I should read it that way. I should be respectful and read it that way. But it seems like everyone is capitulating lately. You said capitulating here. I don't know what the here is. Here, the United States, or here, GCPR. I'm not sure. I don't think everybody is. I think a lot of people are. Trust me. I think a lot of people are. But I don't think everybody is. I don't think everybody is. But it's interesting. I thought it was very interesting. Maybe you don't think it's interesting. I do. I just happen to think it was an interesting resignation. I think it was a resignation of extreme principle. And I hope it's one of those things that's going to wake people up. Now, I don't know if it will. I can't say if it will or not. But we can hope. The second thing I had listed on the header was, oh, and I want to say this too. So what we're doing now here technically, for just a little bit of technical stuff, is we're using, George is with me on a Zoom meeting. And what we're doing is broadcasting that Zoom through Streamlabs to you. Because you can't hear George, my guess is you probably won't hear a phone caller either. But perhaps toward the end of the program, like around 8:55-ish, we can try. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I guess if you want to, but I mean, I don't know why that would matter. Yeah, before we went live. I don't know. I mean, you could try. I guess it doesn't hurt, but it shouldn't matter. I think it's just this program's bloody freaking awful is what it is. But anyway, we'll try the phones a little later in the program. I don't want to blow the whole program up right now. He is he's funny sometimes. He is a real dry wit, George. He's so funny. He can be so cutting. Such a dry wit. You had a show on CNN, but they just took it away. Oh my God. Listen, I am never getting a show on CNN. Gee, I am barely moving. I am barely doing this. God, that's funny though, isn't it? Randall mentions in the chat that all Democratic elected U.S. senators, and it's Democratic, voting collectively against every Trump-supported nomination. It's the least that they can do. They have held the floor for 2 overnights now. They are the minority. For those of you throughout the country and around the world who are thinking to yourselves that the Democrats are not doing enough to stop all of this, they're in the minority, folks. They're in the minority. There's really not a lot they can do. Now, Senator Brian Schatz, the Democratic senator from Hawaii, has put in a pink slip. I think it's called a pink slip, or it might be a blue slip. It's a color slip, which he has handed in to prevent all Trump nominees that are allowed to be filibustered which is a very indelicate way of saying it. But some of the undersecretaries, some of the not cabinet level officials, the undersecretaries, the associate secretaries, things like that, he has put in a slip to stop those. And well, that's working. I'm trying to quickly actually look at some sound things to possibly figure out why you can't hear George. Because I don't know. Because I don't know. I have no idea. because I have no idea. So I'm literally trying to talk to you and figure this out all at the same time, and it's not. I don't think it's going well. But that said, there's very little the Democrats can do to stop a lot of this. As I mentioned, they've took to the floor for 2 full overnights now. One before the vote of Pete Hegseth, one before the vote of Tulsi Gabbard last night. She was confirmed by a 52 to 48 vote. The only Republican voting against her is Mitch McConnell. I am reminded of the old Bill Cosby joke that when I know Bill Cosby jokes aren't terribly popular given recent events, but where he says that old people are nice to grandchildren because they're old and they're close to dying and they want to get into heaven. I think Mitch McConnell might be somewhere in that group. He voted against her. He had a rather scathing statement about his vote as well, calling her a foreign asset and that she's dangerous and that, you know, a lot of other things. But they're doing pretty much everything they can do because a majority of the people that voted Republicans into office. They are the minority. Anybody who's expecting great things out of Democrats you're a little off. Can they make much more noise? I believe that they can. Should they filibuster every single last piece of legislation? Yes. And I happen to think that they will. I do think we're seeing a turning point in the Democratic Party on Capitol Hill. I do. I think you're seeing senators like Chris Murphy, Sheldon Whitehouse, Brian Schatz, Tammy Duckworth, to a lesser extent Patty Murray, take a real front for it. We've seen Bernie, who's been on fire. Like, Bernie's angry. Take a more forward foot, what's the word I'm looking for? Role in the Senate to try to stop these things. Chuck Schumer has been entirely too quiet and timid. So I do think Democrats will filibuster everything that they can. Prevent a vote on them as long as you can speak and hold the floor. The old traditional filibuster. When Democrats were in the majority, there was a lot of pressure on them to get rid of the filibuster because Republicans were filibustering everything. I think now you're going to be happy that they didn't. But anyway, I kind of got off on a rant there. But I did it because of your comments, which I think is fantastic. I'm so thrilled to have comments. It's so nice to see you all. By the way, those of you who may not have watched us before might be watching us on the GCPR YouTube for the very first time. We are here every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., 3 big hours. And we are here on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 9. I know the website says that we're on every day. We used to be on every day. And I literally got sick and exhausted to a point where I couldn't keep it up. And my doctor literally told me, you can't do this schedule anymore. So we take a couple days. We do a show, take a day, do a show, take a day, do a show, take a day. So that's where you can find us. Let me reset the program. It's 8:36 p.m. Eastern Time here in the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania. This is TKE Tonight, the Kennedy Effect Tonight, with you for the 13th of February, 2025. We are live right now on the Facebook pages of Our Revolution Pennsylvania, the TCP Media Group, Hot101.net, and of course, Ghost Claw Productions. We're also live on our home group Facebook page for all things that surround our program. And to the new folks who are here, maybe catching us for the very first time, we invite you, if you are on Facebook, to come over to our home group Facebook page and become a member. Of our group. That other side of information is the group. Same name as our YouTube channel, That Other Side of Information, where Vampirus tells me we're not there. Interesting, because I shared it over there. I thought I did it right. I guess not. George, I think you're an administrator on the YouTube channel. I don't know if you know how to share it, but I thought I did it right. I thought I shared it to the YouTube channel, but I guess not. Who knows? Sharing things on YouTube is very difficult. It's not like sharing things on Facebook. It's pretty freaking hard, and I don't know why. But anyway, I thought I did it earlier, but I guess I didn't. Vampirus, I'm taking your word for it. And we are live on both YouTube channels, or at least we're supposed to be. Ghost Claw Productions, YouTube, and That Other Side of Information. The audio of the program blasting around the globe via 2 global internet radio stations, one of the first and one of the newest. Hot101.net, our name is our web address. If you can connect to the internet anywhere below, above, or on Earth, you can listen to hot101.net and you can listen for free. Our main website, hot101.net, hot101.net. Our name is our web address. Apple App Store, Google Play Store for Android, and the TuneIn radio app. And of course, you can tell Alexa to play hot101.net. GCPR, Ghost Claw Productions Radio.live. Go to our website. You can listen there for free as well. We also have an Android app. An angry IT nerd working on an Apple app as we speak, no doubt, slaving away, sweating profusely into his keyboard, trying not to spill coffee on it, all those things that you see in funny commercials, working on an Apple app as we speak. GCPR.live. Go to our website, find out about our shows, schedules, hosts, what our shows are about, and you can listen there live. Following us... Wow, something jumped right in my throat there. That frog, I guess, is still down there. Following us immediately on hot101.net, the music returns. On GCPR, Conversations with T. Nathan from 11. Thomas returns from tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. to close out your broadcast work week with the sound of coffee, Flag on the Play Friday, tomorrow morning from 8 a.m. We, here at the Kennedy Effect, return to you on Sunday from 6 p.m. The Trump Party on Capitol Hill released a budget, or at least a budget resolution, yearly budgets. Sometimes those budgets even lasted 2 years. Sometime during the, I think it was Clinton era, actually, Congress began, and especially during the George W. Bush era, Congress began doing these things called continuing resolutions. They weren't actual budgets. They are very loosely based spending plans. They can last a week, they can last a month, they can last 6 months. If people on Capitol Hill actually had any stones, they would last a year, 2 years, 5 years, or more. The deep, 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 nearly toxic, nearly soft Civil War type divisions in this country have prevented budgets from happening because Republicans will never agree to anything that Democrats want. Democrats all too often still try to play by the rules that don't exist anymore, rules that Republicans have stopped paying attention to. And we can't seem to come to an agreement on any of that. So budgets seem to be a thing of the past. But they have outlined or released their outline of a budget resolution, a continuing resolution to continue spending. Just in case you were wondering, other than his own profit, why Musk was looking to slash the federal budget, we now know. Remember during the Biden years when the Trump Party on Capitol Hill would scream bloody murder every time the debt ceiling needed to be increased? They would bitch and tax and spend Democrats and all this. Well, the Trump Party spending resolution calls for an increase in the debt ceiling of $4 trillion. It would raise the debt ceiling to, I believe, $42 trillion, which is more than the gross domestic product of the country. Our debt would approach roughly 110% of our gross domestic product. Anytime a nation gets over 100% of its GDP in debt, there's a problem. Now, some would say we've had a problem all along. Globally, history shows us that really only when their debt surpasses their gross domestic product does it become a real problem. I happen to think that these numbers are fake. Not because they're not because the math doesn't make up, but because this country is never paying $40 trillion to anybody. Never. This debt is never going to be paid. These numbers are so high. Money has become such a almost fake these numbers are almost not even real. They're almost not even grounded in reality. I don't think they'll ever be paid off. But when the debt gets above 100% of GDP, it's a bad thing, and I think this will be a bad thing. And now, remember when first off, to some of the new folks here, let me include you in on my let me include you on one of my theorems here. The Republican Party no longer exists. We should stop calling them Republicans. GOP, the grand old party, is just, that has been or should be condemned to the dustbin of history. The party, if you want to call it a political party, and I don't think it is, by the way, I think it's a corporation. Among the people that own the corporation is Musk and Peter Thiel and the Mercers, Koch network. I could keep going. Jeffrey Yass. I could keep going. They bought themselves a political party. They own too much of my party, let me be clear. They own a little piece of my party too. Too damn much of it. The other one they own outright. It's a corporation. The Ted Cruzes, the Josh Hawleys, Trump, Rand Paul, Bannon, Stephen Miller, Kash Patel, all these guys, they're the employees within this corporation. Their job is to generate wealth for the people that own them. Lots of people across the country are talking, why does Trump give Musk this carte blanche? Because Musk owns him. Because he owns him. During the last campaign cycle, about 80 billionaires. By the way, the U.S. has well over 700 billionaires. There are more billionaires in the U.S. than anywhere else. About a handful of them, a small handful of them, 80, put $20 billion into the Trump campaign in 2024. Not the campaigns for Senate or House or governorships or state legislatures, but just Trump. They own him. He got rich. He doesn't care. So let's stop talking about Republicans. They don't exist. It's a Trump party. They fear him. They do whatever he says. They make excuses for him. They break the law for him. They violate the Constitution for him. He's the head of the cult. Musk owns the cult. Trump might be the president. Musk is the prime minister. Make no mistake. He's pulling the strings. He and the other billionaires. He and the other billionaires who paid to have Project 2025 written. And straight out of the pages of Project 2025 comes the budget, or budget resolution. Raise the debt ceiling by $4 trillion. Cut domestic spending by $2 trillion. And then give the richest 1% $6 trillion in tax cuts. And add $3 trillion to the federal debt as soon as the legislation gets signed by Trump. And it will. Make no mistake, this budget will pass. Republicans have the majority in the House. They have the majority in the Senate. And Trump will sign it because the billionaires will tell him to sign it. We talked about a possible turning point earlier in the program with the resignation of Danielle Sassoon. Will this budget be a turning point? $3 trillion in new debt as soon as they sign it. $6 trillion more in tax cuts. The corporate rate dropped to 15%. Remember, Project 2025 calls for the elimination of taxes. Not cuts, the elimination of taxes on corporations and the richest people in the country, while it raises taxes for everyone else, which is exactly what this budget resolution will do. Rachel Maddow talked last night. The federal government has always run a federally funded program for senior citizens that pays for their heating. It gives them money to buy oil and gas to heat their homes. We were all told that Musk did not gain access to these computer systems so that he could alter them or rewrite them or change them. He was just copying files. He's just examining the amount of money they're spending. People in Alabama have started, senior citizens who receive this benefits from this program. It's called LIHEAP, LIHEAP. I don't tell. Low Income Heating and Energy Assistance Program. I think I have that right. Low income heating and electricity, or heating and energy assistance program. Well, we were told that Musk had read-only access. We were told he wasn't going to be rewriting computer systems. He wasn't taking people's private banking information. Senior citizens in Alabama have begun to receive bills from the federal government saying, you owe us money because we gave you oil. We're not going to help you anymore. In fact, you owe us money. You have to pay us back for the assistance that we've given you so far. Where do you think they got that information? Where do you think Musk got that information? It's coming from Doge. Low income home energy assistance. You know what? I was close. I've been very rudely corrected. Just want to be honest. I've been very, very rudely corrected. No, I'm kidding. If I ever get anything wrong, to all of you, if I ever get something that you think is wrong and you use DuckDuckGo, and I highly suggest you use DuckDuckGo, it doesn't trace your search history, and you want to correct me, then damn it, you correct me. I won't lie to you, and I don't want to get stuff wrong. But I'm human. Sometimes I get stuff wrong. You want to correct me? Have at it. It's one thing that's very different about this program this political program compared to a lot of others is if I get it wrong, I get it wrong. You can correct me. And George just did, very rudely, by the way, but he just did. I'm very, yeah. I surely did miss it, and don't call me Shirley. But what else is in this? So where do the $2 trillion in federal and domestic spending cuts come from? Well, I'm going to eliminate the Department of Education. Let's remember that. That's straight out of Project 2025. We're not going to shut it down. We're not just going to scale it back. We're not just going to reduce it. We're going to close the Department of Education. It slashes Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, of course, which, by the way, have their own budget. They are not part of the regular federal budget. They have their own budget. But Trumpers can't wait to kill Social Security. They used to be all energetic about taking that money and putting it into private hands. We want to give that money to Wall Street because they'll grow it for you. We've skipped right over that shit. We're now into close it down. So that senior citizens, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, anti-poverty program in the history of this country, Social Security. So now seniors that are too old or too sick to work can now be homeless and starve. Because, damn it, Musk doesn't have enough money. Because $400 billion, how the hell is he going to live on $400 billion? How's Jeff Bezos going to live on, I don't even know what he's worth this week, $300 billion? You know, in the last couple weeks, Elon Musk has lost $90 billion in personal wealth because Tesla has begun to suffer greatly in its sales all around the world. People are essentially boycotting Tesla. And you might think to yourself, holy crap, he lost $90 billion. Folks, it's okay. He was worth nearly $500 billion. He was worth about 472, I think it was. So even when he's lost 90, still got about 370 billion left, 380 billion left. He's okay. But he doesn't think that's enough money. He wants more tax cuts. So where are we going to take the money from? All right, well, we'll take it from kids. We won't feed them. We'll get rid of the SNAP program. We'll close the public schools. We'll cut or end Social Security. We'll cut or end Medicare. We'll cut or end Medicaid. And we will slash veterans benefits. All you so-called Trumpers, you red hats, you the ones who love to try to take the piss out of Democrats that we don't love this country. Trump has called this military way more than once fools and suckers for even being in the military. You love to scream at Democrats every time you ride under an underpass and you see a homeless vet. You're going to see cities of them now. And you know what? Too many of you won't care. You won't care. You know why? Because Trump hates black people just like you do. He hates brown people just like you do. He likes Asian people because they work. because they work in tech jobs and they work cheaper. But blacks and Hispanics, we don't like them at all. I get a lot of pushback within my own party. And I'm an officer in my party. I'm an elected officer in my party. That really? I thought it was more than that. That our message to people, and this is a disagreement that I have with my own wife, by the way, who's downstairs, probably not listening to me. Last thing she wants to do after a long work day is listen to me. We have this discussion, we have this argument with each other that part of the Democratic message cannot be, I told you so. I don't agree. I think for the irredeemables, the ones with every last ounce of strength they have, because they can't afford to see a doctor, can't afford to feed themselves properly because of Trump's tax increases on them, but they would still drag their dying bodies in front of his to stop a bullet. They're irredeemable. We're never, never, never reaching them. And therefore, I told you so is part of the answer. They got to eat it. You did this, now you got to live with it. That includes a lot of veterans who are part of these self-identified militias, Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. The current budget resolution put forward by the Trump party on Capitol Hill calls for massive cuts to veterans, to the Veterans Administration, which means VA hospitals and services. In fact, I think it cuts it in half. Project 2025 calls for the elimination of the Veterans Administration completely. Because after all, you served our country, you helped protect the sea lanes for big oil. We wouldn't want you to see a doctor. That's expensive. So part of the message does have to be, I told you so. Here's a quick story about I told you so. Well, one, I already told you. Trump won Alabama by 30 points. Now the seniors in Alabama are getting bills from Doge saying, we helped you heat your house, we want the money back. Are they still going to throw their bodies in front of Trump? They just might. And if they do, then they deserve to freeze. Here's another little I told you so. Trump won all the Midwestern states. All of them. Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas. The breadbasket. He won them all. Farmers have already lost over $550 million because of Doge, Musk, and Trump shutting down USAID. Farmers were paid for the food that USAID handed out around the world to keep children from starving. Well, we're not doing that anymore, so the farmers aren't getting paid. There's food rotting at the docks because Musk doesn't like USAID. He wants a tax cut. We're not going after the Department of Defense and that $1.5 trillion. We're not going after any government agency that Musk has a contract with. Only the ones he doesn't. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, education, energy, Department of the Interior, veterans. USAID. A little I told you so. Because we have to hope that I told you so gets to somebody somewhere along the way. We have to hope. The man is a miracle, Trump. He's 300 pounds, morbidly obese. By his own admission and RFK Jr.'s admission, all he eats is either KFC or McDonald's. He drinks nothing but Diet Coke. And he is some kind of color I can't explain. So unless something happens to him, he's there for 4 years. So I told you so. It's going to be a lot of I told you so in 4 years. We're in week 4. 3? 4. I think we're in week 4. Oh, damn it. Now I got to look at a calendar. I'm not happy about that. We are in week 1, 2, 3. Oh, for bloody Nora. We're in week 3. That's what I get for trying to move time along quicker. We're only in week 3. At best, we have this for 2 years. And that's if we have elections in 2026. If. You damn right there's going to be a lot of I told you so. Bloody right there is. All right, Randall's asking me if you can call in. Jesus, Randall, I'm not that important. Yes, you can try. You can try. I'm going to answer you through the computer. God willing, people will hear you on the other end. If they cannot, that'll be the end of that. Vampira says he is beta carotene colored. You know, yeah, I guess, yeah. Donna and Vampires having a chat amongst themselves in the chat. I love that. Talk to each other. Talk to each other. 267-227-9189. If somebody wants to try on the phone, do it quickly, or else I'm wrapping up the show. I'm ignoring a committee meeting that I'm supposed to be in. I'm still logged into the Zoom, but I'm not listening because I'm on the air. Just gave myself away. Randall mentions in the chat Musk's Tesla company is also being awarded a $400 million contract from the, I don't think it's the Department of State. I thought it was the Defense Department, to be honest with you, to buy cyber trucks that are supposedly have thicker armor on them, literally for the military to use in combat. That'll be hilarious. He also just got another $2.5 billion contract with NASA. Yeah, sort of, George. Yeah, I hate to admit it, but yeah, kind of. Oh, that's interesting. That's a whole different... Wow. Okay, Randall, we're going to find out if this works or not. Somebody in the chat, folks in the chat, listening, watching, we use a program here called Google Voice. It's free, and it lets people call into the program, and all of the sound is supposed to go through one central area and then broadcast out to you. So Randall, I can hear him. My guess is that George can hear him. We hope you can hear him at home or wherever you're listening. And if you can't, tell us right away, and then we got even more work to do. Anyway, go ahead, Randall. Let's give this thing a shot. Stellantis. You can't cut revenue. You can't cut income and increase revenue. It simply doesn't work. It's math. It's very simple math. You can't buy a dozen eggs and there's only 8 in them and somehow you end up with 20 eggs. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I need to cut you off. Nobody can hear you. So George and I got a lot of work to do, but thank you for listening as always and being so loyal as you are. All right. We're gonna have to spend a whole, maybe we'll try to get into that a little bit on Sunday when we have 3 hours. Thank you, my friend. Okay, so nobody could hear. That's troubling. We got more work to do with that. So we're gonna turn the phone line off because no one can hear it anyway. That's troubling because theoretically everything should be working. Because it all goes through the same thing. But anyway, just means we have work to do, but that's nothing new. Again, for those of you who are used to Thomas in the morning, you know he's always fighting with his tech. So we're going to be fighting with ours. It's just going to keep going. Anyway, we got a lot more that we could talk about. We could keep doing this for hours. But I think we're going to wrap things up. I would tell George to give you a final word. Vampirus says Angry's going to be busy. Well, he's going to be part of it, yeah. George and I usually slug through our own tech problems, but we're probably going to need him for this one because I don't understand at all why none of this is working. I don't get it. So there's just going to have to be a lot of work to do. What can I say? So we're going to wrap up for now. We return to you on Sunday. Sunday the the hell is Sunday? The 16th, he said. The 16th. We plan to return to you on the 16th, February 16th, from 6 p.m. Eastern Time. 6 to 9 is our scheduled time to be with you on Sunday. On many, if not all, of these very same video platforms, as well as Hot 101 and GCPR. So for all the new folks in the chat, new folks who've checked us out for the first time on the GCPR YouTube, And unfortunately, George's job sometime in the next day or two is going to be to take the GCPR YouTube video and get it over to that other side of information, because apparently I didn't share it properly, because apparently it's hard to share things on YouTube. I don't understand. There's a share button, and then you tell it where you want to send it, and then it doesn't go there. So I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm like an old guy that wears a fishing hat, the white t-shirt, blue shorts, and black socks, and sandals. And I'm watering my lawn, and I'm mean, and I'm angry. It's like I'm just, what the hell, man? Why can't I get this? But anyway, I seem to be able to. I seem to not be able to share this anywhere. But anyway, our plan is to return to you. And I always say that. I always kind of hedge my bet a little bit on that we're scheduled. Who knows if I'm going to get sick? My health is really quite poor. Or if we have a power outage, or, something could go bonkers. You never know what could happen. But we are scheduled to return to you on Sunday, the 16th, from 6 p.m. Eastern. 6 p.m., a big 3-hour program. My hope, he crosses his fingers, my hope is that we'll have the phone lines sorted out. It seems that we have the video sorted out. Hopefully we'll have George's audio sorted out, and we'll get some stuff all ready to go, and be back with you on Sunday from 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Like, follow, subscribe, share. That Other Side of Information is our home group Facebook page. We want you to be a member. The Ghost Claw Productions YouTube, That Other Side of Information YouTube, www.gcpr.live, and hot101.net. Like, share, subscribe, follow, all that fun stuff. For our friends and family at hot101.net, the music returns in just a moment, as soon as we sign off. gcpr.live, Conversations with Teen Ethan from 11. Thomas returns tomorrow morning with Flag on the Play Friday, with The Sound of Coffee from 8 a.m. For everyone at hot101.net, that's DJ Lex, DJ Earl, and all of the hot101.net family. For everyone at gcpr.live, that's Thomas and Angry and Gambit and everybody. And Gretchen was in the chat there for a while too. I hope you're feeling better, young lady. For everyone at GCPR, for everyone that surrounds TKE Tonight and the Kennedy Effect, that's Lynn and George, Kristen, Daisy, the dog, and of course April Riddick. I am Jeff Kennedy. We've done about all the damage we can do for one night. Conversations with Teen Ethan from 11. Thomas tomorrow morning from 8. The music returns on Hot 101. And we will see you Sunday evening from 6 p.m. We look forward to seeing you then. Some of you I'll see tomorrow morning in the chat watching Thomas. We hope you continue to share, talk about the program, become regulars here on TKE Tonight and the Kennedy Effect. We'll see you Sunday from 6 p.m. Until then, please take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you on Sunday.